Preacher 357 here, out here on the range on this bright sunny day with a classic 22 semi-auto rifle, the Ruger 1022. Believe it or not, this is the first 1022 I have ever owned. I've had a Marlin Model 60 for years, but I've never had a 1022. I just never really felt like I needed something besides the Marlin because I love the Marlin so much. But obviously there are benefits to a gun like the 1022. In fact, it has a detachable box magazine, being one of the main things about the 1022. Now the 1022, I can't remember exactly, it came out I believe in the early 60s, around the same time as the Marlin Model 60. And it was actually, I believe, a scaled down version of their 44 carbine. I think the 44 actually came out first, and then this came out as basically a smaller version in 22. Now, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong about that. I'm not an expert on the Ruger 1022 by any means. But it's become one of the most popular rifles, one of the most popular 22s especially in this country, in the United States, and probably around the world. And one of the things that makes it so popular is there's so much aftermarket support for it. You can put all kinds of different stocks on it, all kinds of different accessories for it. You can get larger magazines for it. You know, there's just so much out there to do with the 1022 that you can make it however you want to make it. And that's one reason it's so popular. But like I said, I just never really felt the need to have one. But I said, you know, I really need to get one. And maybe even compare it to the Model 60 at some point. But I thought I'd get it out here today and do a little shooting with it. You know, the Marlin Model 60 is known as an accurate rifle. And the 1022 is known as a reliable rifle and one that you can accessorize. So I don't know, is the 1022 not as accurate as the Marlin? I don't know. One thing I did notice is the barrel length is a little less on this model. Your sight radius is going to be a little less as a result. So maybe the Marlin's a little more accurate because of that. You know, the Marlin has a different type of rifling than this. Of course, the Marlin's no longer made. Ruger bought Marlin. And as of right now, I don't believe that there are any 1022s being made. I'm hoping Ruger will continue to make those, but you know, being a competitor to the 1022, they may not. But anyway, this is a brand new 1022 I bought. This is not an older model, but as far as I know, they haven't done a lot of changes to them. They're basically still the same as they've ever been. So I thought I'd get it out here, do a little shooting with it, see if I can hit anything with it. It's got a really fine brass bead front sight on here for pinpoint accuracy, if you can see it, which I can barely. I mean, I can barely see it. I would really like to have something bright and larger like I have on my Marlin. Of course, those are aftermarket sights I put on my Marlin because I couldn't see the original ones of those either. So it does have a nice rear sight on this one, though. I do like the way it's designed. I just wish that front sight were a little bit brighter and easier to see, because even out here in the bright sunlight, I have a hard time picking that up. When I shot it on the paper just a little bit ago, I think you can kind of see that. Sometimes I'd lose the bead and shoot a little bit off and then pick it up again and be pretty accurate with it. But, you know, that's just part of it, especially for me. I'm not going to say I'm the greatest rifleman that ever lived, because I'm sure not. I'm actually probably as good with a handgun as I am with a rifle, and that's sad, because I'm not saying I'm the greatest with a handgun either. But anyway, I've got the 10-round box magazine in here. It also has the availability of these 25-round magazines. I'm not going to use them, though. I've debated about it, but YouTube does not like magazines above 20 rounds, I believe it is. So I'm not going to tempt fate and take a chance on them getting mad at me and taking my video down. So I'm just going to use this one 10-round magazine that I've got. So I might do a lot of reloading. But, you know, that's something that Ruger should seriously consider doing. They've gotten bad about only providing one magazine with their guns, whether it's their semi-autos or this, you know. Ruger, give us another magazine. You know, I know you're trying to keep costs down, but one magazine's just not enough. Give us another magazine with your guns. And unfortunately, I couldn't find a 10-round magazine to purchase yet, so I've only got the one. One other thing here is just look at the 10-round magazine, and we'll compare it to the 25-round. That's a 10-round. That's a 25-round. What's wrong with this picture? If 10 rounds fits in here, How are you only getting 25 in here? Now this is a rotary magazine, I believe, and this would be rotary at the top, and so this is just going to be extra rounds that feed up in here, but why is this only 25? I just don't understand why a magazine this large, when this one holds 10, only holds 25. I'm sure there's some reason for that, but just seems kind of strange to me. But anyway, I'm using the 10 rounder today, so let's just do a little bit of shooting. Hopefully I'll do some hitting out here and we'll have a little bit of fun. I'm not going to do any comparisons today with the Marlin Model 60, but I will probably do that at some point in the future. So here we go. This is just going to be a little fun video of me shooting and having a good time. I've done a little bit of shooting out here just to kind of make sure it was fairly well sighted in, and it seems to be. I may not be able to hit anything with it, but I've had a good time shooting it so far. I noticed that I had a little bit of reliability issues when I used the 25 round magazine. I've had no hiccups at all with the 10 round, but with the 25 round, I had a couple of rounds that didn't feed. So I don't know if that's a common problem with them or not, but we're gonna be using the 10 round today. So let's put a round in the magazine. We'll just start over here on the red plate, just like normal, and see what I can do here. All right, here we go. Woo. There we go. Having to take a little bit of a lower hold. And we're out of ammo. That's one thing about it. I have to take a little bit of a lower hold here. I could adjust the sights for elevation, but I'm not sure where I'd want them exactly. Because it seemed like they were kind of where I'd like to have them anyway, where the front bead was a little bit higher than the line on the rear sight. Because when I get it down to where the bead is all the way down to the white on the rear sight, I can't see it. And so I've got it kind of set where I hold the bead a little bit higher than that. And that seemed to work better. But just the same, I seem to be struggling a little bit there on the small plate. Let's try this again. See if I can hit this small one. There we go. All right, I think the cowboy has been dealt with. He's had about all he can take, I believe. Getting the magazine out sometimes is not as easy as I'd like it to be. I have to get a little bit stuck in there. 10 round magazine. That's all I got here. Thank you, YouTube. Make sure you tell YouTube how much you appreciate their policies and not letting us use higher round magazines. Because obviously that would be dangerous to society if I were to load up more than 20 rounds in a 22, right? I'm gonna go over here. I've got some clays set up, and I've got a rimfire plate rack out there. And I'm gonna see if I can hit it. I shot at it earlier and was able to hit it. But now that I'm in a video, you know, things change. So let's try these clays first. There we go. Starting to get it in. I have to hold a little lower than what I was wanting to. So I might need to adjust those sights just a little bit, just the same. But I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to try to make do. Just try to make do. This sun is bright. Man, it's bright. Actually kind of warm today too. Nothing compared to what it's going to be this summer, obviously. But after being in the winter for several months now, I'm not used to it. This is the warmest day we've had this year, I believe. Probably 80 degrees out here. Well, there we go. Now then, yeah, I'm having to hold a little lower than what I would like to, so I'm going to have to adjust them a little bit. That's all she wrote. I wish it had a last round bolt hole open, but it doesn't. Let's load up a few more here. We'll go for this plate rack over here, and then we'll go out to 100 yards and 80 yards and see if I can figure out the elevation out there. Man, it'd be nice to use that 25 round magazine. But sometimes you just have to do the best you can through adversity. Just make the best of it. That's what we're gonna do. All right, try these plates now. Well, wasting a lot of rounds. It's a good thing it's a 22. Don't cost too much. A lot more than it used to. 22 is not nearly as economical as it once was, but still a lot cheaper than pretty much anything else. Got two more to hit there, and then we'll go out to 80 yards and 100 yards. And then I'll probably just let you guys go. It's a nice little rifle. I can definitely see why people like this gun so much. Do I like it better than my Marlin Model 60? Probably not. But one reason I like the Model 60 so well is because I have those bright sights on there, those fiber optic sights that I can see so much better. If I had a better front sight, like a fiber optic that was easy to see, I would enjoy this a whole lot more, because it's really difficult to see that front sight. I'm really straining to kind of see where it is. Let's go back over here one more time, see if I can knock these last two down. There we go. Well, not too bad. Not the best shooting I've ever done, but all right, let's try out here. I don't know where these are going. Out of ammo. I have to bring it down a little bit more so I can see where they're hitting. Of course, that's always going to be the issue. If you kind of sight it in at 25 yards, which is what I did, when you start going to 40 and 80 and 100, you know, your elevation's going to be different. So, you know, you're always going to have to make some adjustments as you're shooting. Let's try her again here. All right. There we go. Well, I thought I'd figured it out. Huh. I know with my Marlin, I was able to just tear those plates up, so I'm gonna have to do some work with this gun to kind of get it where I can shoot a little bit better. And that may mean I have to buy some sights to put on it to help me with that front sight, because it is a struggle. But just the same, everything is a process. It's a rare occasion where I get a gun and first time out, after the first sighting in and everything, I have it exactly the way I want it and everything's just perfect. I'll try this in 80 one more time just to see if I can get a better bead on this. I'm trying to hold low, but I still don't see them. I'll hold even lower. Well, I am out of ammo. So I'm gonna go ahead and go out here to 100 and then just let you guys go. I'm a little disappointed because I thought I had it sighted in a little bit better. I knew it was shooting just a hair high, but I didn't think it was gonna be this much problem. But that's usually the way it is. You know, when I was shooting before the video, I wasn't having too hard a time with it, but I guess between when I was doing that and when I got everything set up to make the video, I kind of forgot how I was shooting. Now let's go out here to 100, see if I can figure it out. I was hitting that fairly well. It looks like I was hitting at the top of the plate though when I was holding low. So yeah, my elevation's not exactly right, especially at that distance. It was just a little bit off at 25 yards, but that made a huge difference when I got out to 40, 80, and 100. Now by the time I got to 100, I'm holding low and hitting high. So, you know, like I said, I've got to make a little bit of adjustments to it, but that's to be expected. But at least with the 10-round magazine, I had no issues with the gun feeding, cycling the ammo, and I put 3 different types of ammo through it. The video, I was only using the Federal, the 40 grain lead round, but I used a couple of different types before that as well, and it fed those well, except for the few hiccups I had with that 25-round magazine, which I didn't use because YouTube don't like it. And I'm not a rule breaker, at least I try not to be, at least not anymore. There was a day I might have been, but I'm in my 50s now, and a little settled down. Try not to buck the system too much, but sometimes you got to. Sometimes you have to make a stand. And hopefully, you know, a lot of these policies that we're seeing from these big tech companies that are so anti-gun, they'll kind of fall by the wayside as we see more and more gun legislation in the U.S. passing, and pro-gun legislation, I mean. And we get more and more of our rights back here in this country. Maybe we'll see some of that pushback we're getting from big tech, you know, sort of end as well. But I don't know. I don't know if I want to hold my breath for that or not. But anyway, we're talking about the 10-22 now, and it's a nice rifle. I prefer a better front sight, and by better I mean something that's more easily visible for me. You know, I'm in my 50s now, and my eyes ain't what they used to be. So if you're a 20-something-year-old, this may be perfect for you. And that fine front bead sight may give you pinpoint accuracy, but for me, it's just hard to pick up on. But anyway, guys, appreciate you coming out. Remember, check out the description. There's a link there for the Gun Owners of America for a discounted membership. You can get in the fight on the national level. Also, the TFA. If you live in the great state of Tennessee like I do, the Tennessee Firearms Association is fighting for our gun rights here in this great state. So I would urge you to join up with the TFA as well and get in the fight here in the state of Tennessee if you live here. But guys, appreciate you coming out. God bless you. Y'all take care of yourselves. We'll see you next time.